Hello, and welcome to the November Littleton Common Show. I'm Barbara McRae. We have a lot for you this month. The Council on Aging isn't slowing down for a minute, and neither should you. You know, other organizations are busy too, and one of our favorite events is the Holiday Bazaar. Nancy Morrison and Millie McGovern have been in charge of overseeing this special day for quite a few years now. It's something we don't want to miss. Most of the town nonprofit organizations have a table so that they can sell handmade or baked goods and t-shirts. But whatever they sell, the profits always go for a good cause. And don't forget that Santa will be there and ready to pose with our little Miss or Mister for that Christmas picture. To sign up for a table, call or email Nancy Morrison at 486-4433 or or email her at nancylmorrison@yahoo.com. All proceeds from the snack bar will go to the SANS Fund. If you don't know what SANS stands for, it's See a New Sun, and it's devoted to the victims and families of suicide. But let's pray we don't have to use that fund here in Littleton. The sale will be December 3rd at the Littleton Middle School gym, and the time is 9 to 3 p.m. The Littleton Country Gardeners are already having workshops to make their beautiful arrangements and wreaths. We all get a chance to show our flowering talents with help from Garden Club member Linda Gianetta. So don't miss that table when you're at the bazaar. And while I'm on Garden Club, the next meeting is on November 15th when Linda Gianetta and Carol Guthrie will give a demonstration on how to make boxwood trees, kissing balls, and centerpieces with many different types of evergreens. It looks like you are invited. The meeting will be held at Prouty Woods or New England Forestry Building on Foster Street. 9:30 a.m. If you're interested in coming, call Sue Cummings at 486-9225. The December meeting will be on the origin of chocolate, and I wouldn't miss that one. The Littleton Rotary held their meeting at the Little White Schoolhouse in Boxborough this past month. We had a tour and a history lesson about this building, and it was well worth the visit. Littleton resident Nancy Morrison's family has owned this building since 1949. Students who went to second grade there came to share their stories. Call Nancy if you'd like more information about this school. And you can call her again at 486-4433 or Nancy Morrison at nancylmorrison@yahoo.com. The Council on Aging's Director of Human Services, Janice Nowicki, is determined to present programs that will suit your needs. So here's Janice to tell you about some of these programs. Hi, Janice.
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to update you on a lot of the activities. November is going to be a very, very busy month here at the Senior Center, and I'd like you all to come and attend a lot of the programs that we're having. The first one I'd like to talk about is on November 4th. It's a Friday afternoon at 1 o'clock. We're going to be having our afternoon tea with the director. And I'd like you to come and just join us. It's a time for us to sit down, get to know each other, for me to get a kind of an understanding of what you would like for programs and different events here at the Senior Center and what needs to be done around town as far as addressing the needs for the human service component. On November 9th, we're going to have our annual Veterans Lunch, and we'd like to extend a warm and cordial invitation to every veteran and their spouse out there. Please, we'd like everybody in town to come, veterans of all ages. Dinner will be served here at the Senior Diner at noon. It's going to be a wonderful turkey dinner that's being catered. We need to make sure that reservations are made. If you'd like to come and you're not a veteran, you are welcome to come, but there will be a $10 charge for that. So please, our veterans are so very, very important to us. We invite you to all come and participate in that. We would love to honor you. On Monday, November 14th, we're going to have a pumpkin pie contest, and it's going to be at 11:30 down in the Senior Diner. So if you would like to bake and would like to bake a pumpkin that you would like to have entered into this contest, or if you'd like to be a judge, we're looking for judges too. Please just let me know. It's just kind of a fun way for us to celebrate this fall and harvest season. On Thursday, November 15th, you'll see in the broadcaster, we had originally scheduled for the Lunch Ladies and Gentlemen Club to meet at Tre Amici, and that's been changed. That day, actually, we're going to have a special Thanksgiving celebration here in the Senior Diner. So I would like all the folks that participate in that program, or anybody who'd like to join us for lunch, that's at noon here on the 15th of November. On the 17th of November, there's a lot of wonderful things that go on here in Littleton that we'd like to start or to participate in as a group. Indian Hill Music School's presenting a box lunch concert series, and we'd like to meet up there for lunch at 11 o'clock. You bring your own lunch, and they'll supply coffee and tea and cookies and listen to some wonderful music. So if you'd like to be a part of that group, just give me a call and we'll add your name to the list, and we'll go and listen to some wonderful music. On Friday, November 18th at 11, we're going to have our Healthy Me group, and we have a group of core people committed. We're looking for more people to participate. People that are committed to health and wellness and thinking about the holistic picture, whether it be diet, exercise, dealing with stress. We're going to be talking about the holidays and making some better food choices. I'm asking folks to bring in some recipes so we can share on how to maybe have a healthier Thanksgiving dinner. That's on the 18th at 11th. On November 29th, we're going to have a special 30th anniversary celebration for the Council on Aging. And we're going to be having some wonderful music with light refreshments. That will be at 1 o'clock. We'd invite you to come and attend that. Also on November 30th, we're going to have an Alzheimer's Awareness Program. November is Alzheimer's Awareness Month, and we want you to be aware there's 10 warning signs that you should be looking out for, and we're going to talk about those during that program. Also, just one change too that I want you to make to your calendars. The Christmas party was originally scheduled for December 8th. The holiday party, we've now changed it to December 15th because we have a senior trip planned for the Boston Pops that day, and we don't want to interfere with that. We want everybody to come to our holiday party on December 15th at noon. And I think that about covers it. We probably have many more things, like we have a Loving Stitches knitting and crocheting groups. That's going to be the first Monday starting in November at 1 o'clock. Invite all you folks that knit, crochet, to come, and it's just going to be a social time, and people can work on a project of their choice, or if you would like, we're going to knit and crochet mittens and hats for the kids in the Littleton public schools, and the Friends has already donated all the supplies you will need as far as yarn, knitting needles, whatever, so we have everything we need. We just need you to come. So that's one of the many, many programs. Just keep tuned, keep coming to the center, look at the bulletin board, ask what's going on, because there'll be many more things in addition to this that we'll be having, and we would love to see you. Thank you, and happy Thanksgiving.
Let's help her make these programs successful. You are going to hear about the Veterans Luncheon often on this show, only because we want to make sure we encourage our veterans of all ages and branches to join us on November 9th. This is our way of thanking you for serving your and our country. Veterans and spouses are free, and all other guests are $10. We hope our speakers will be from the Fort Devens Military Museum, and also maybe a word from Dave Toma about bugles across America. The Epicurean Cafe on Foster Street will be our caterer. So we're looking forward to a homemade turkey dinner with all the trimmings. Call 540-2470 for a reservation, and please make that reservation so that we will have a correct count. The manager of our little senior cafe or diner, Gail Dalton, has some special dates she wants to share with you. Gail?
Well, hello, Barbara. We're in the month of November. I can't believe this year has just totally flown by. And I was in the store the other day, and I can't believe all the Christmas stuff, and even some Christmas songs were on the radio. So I'm getting kind of pressured here. Okay. But thank God my kids are adults, so everything's going to be nice and small this year. But November is an extremely busy month down here, okay? We will be having on November 9th will be the Veterans Lunch. Will be a turkey dinner. And veterans and their spouses are free, okay? And anybody else who would like to come, it will be $10, okay? It's a really great meal. I mean, the turkeys are great. The food is just so good. So really encourage everybody to come. And on the 10th will be the ladies' breakfast. On the 11th, we'll be closed because it will be the actual Veterans Day, so we'll be closed that day. And on the 15th, Minuteman is having their special Thanksgiving meal. And of course, it's going to be turkey and stuffing and mashed potato and all the fixings. And I think Janice and her lunch club will be coming here that day to have their special lunch. So we'll do special desserts and special treats. So really encourage everybody else to come. And that will be a $2 meal. So that's only $2. And then on the 16th, we usually have the birthday lunch the second Wednesday, but because of the veterans, we're pushing it back to the 16th. So the birthday lunch will be there. So that's Minuteman's November birthday. So anybody in the month of November, please come down and get a free lunch and a nice birthday cake. And it's also the men's breakfast that day. So it's a very busy month. And then on the 18th, we had a special. It was a ham and cheese bake. It was kind of like the broccoli bake. We had it, and we had a huge turnout, and they put it back on the menu. So on the 18th, it's a great meal, and we do salads on that day. So please come down. It's only $2. And then on the 23rd, before Thanksgiving, I'm going to have a pizza party here. We usually do cheese pizza, pepperoni, and peppers and onions. And we'll make a special dessert. And for $5, you can have as much as you can eat and everything like that, okay? And then, of course, on the 24th and the 25th of November, the meal site will be closed here to celebrate Thanksgiving. So I hope to see everybody in November so we can start celebrating the holidays together.
Don't forget the Pumpkin Pie Bake-Off on Monday, November 14th at 11:30 in the Senior Diner. My husband Allen makes the best pumpkin pies, so I'm going to try to encourage him to enter this contest. The Council on Aging will be hosting the celebration of their 30th year. Diane Dexter will entertain us with her music, and of course, refreshments will be served. The date is November 29th. It's at 1 p.m., but you have to make a reservation and call by November 21st at the number we usually give you, which is 540-2470. By the way, we enjoyed an Oktoberfest in October. We had a good turnout and very, very good food. Nancy Friday brought some of her German steins for decorations and some German music. Now we're looking forward to many more of these potluck lunches and themes. So what about a 50s party? Sound good? Well, we'll wait and see. You can always enjoy music at the Indian Hill Music School. And Evan Thea Valakis has the news from there. Evan Thea.
Thanks, Barbara. Fall is in full swing here at Indian Hill, and November is chock full of all kinds of music for you to enjoy, beginning with the Family Pajama Jam, which is Friday, November 4th at 6:30 p.m., and that's a musical story hour for families, and it's free, and that's, again, November 4th, the Family Pajama Jam. We also have a faculty recital by pianist Mariana Rashkovetsky, and that will be Saturday, November 12th at 6 p.m. And Mariana will be performing music of Grieg and Beethoven and Rachmaninoff. It's going to be a great free concert again, Saturday, November 12th, 6 p.m. here at Indian Hill Music at 36 King Street. You can find out more at 486-9524 or online at indianhillmusic.org. For jazz lovers, we've got jazz pianist and composer Pamela Hines Trio with vocalist April Hall. And that will be Sunday, November 13th at 3 p.m. here at Indian Hill. And the tickets are $18 for adults for that jazz concert, a great afternoon of jazz originals with Pam Hines and her group. The Box Lunch monthly faculty concert here at Indian Hill continues on Thursday, November 17th. 2 shows, one at 11 and one at 1:30 p.m. And we've got a Russian program. We've got cellist Arkady Beletsky and pianist Jennifer Morlock coming to do great Russian classical and romantic tunes for you. The Box Lunch, free concert, Thursday, November 17, 2 shows. The Orchestra of Indian Hill continues the Russian theme with a night of, we're calling it Russian Icons. We've got masterpieces by 3 Russian composers, Mussorgsky, Shostakovich, and Prokofiev, with guest violinist Irina Murisanu. And that's Saturday, November 19th, Orchestra of Indian Hill, 7:30 p.m. over at Littleton High School. You're not going to want to miss that one, let me tell you. And again, the Russian theme is continuing this month. We've got our art exhibit here at the gallery at Indian Hill. We've got Russian icons from the Museum of Russian Icons in Clinton. They've brought a selection of icons here for you to enjoy. So check us out online, indianhillmusic.org or 486-9524. Hope to see you.
There will be no movie at the COA during November and December. We know you'll be busy with activities and family during these months, and if not, then just come on down to the Senior Diner and activities here at the Council on Aging to fill your time. We will find a movie that you will enjoy in January, so stay tuned for that. November 21st is the date for the next meeting of the Senior Citizens Club. Join them at 1:30 p.m. in the Senior Diner. The game this month is the all-time favorite, bingo. If you don't go that day, you can join the bingo group every Friday from 1 to 2:30 in the diner. A big thank you to those who donated to the Council on Aging wish list for October. Donlin Supermarket, Bateman's, Eleanor Cooper, John Gates, and all who helped with the end of the summer celebration. This month's wish list includes gift cards, non-perishable food for an emergency food pantry, and we don't want to interfere with the Loaves and Fishes pantry. Any donations support our programs through the Friends of the COA. Small bingo prizes and other activities, candy is good, and also hard candy, and items for raffle baskets for Christmas party. Janice and her crew are also collecting items for the troops, such as coffee, hot chocolate, tea, crackers, peanuts, microwave popcorn, baby powder, pain relievers, sunblock, dental floss, decks of cards, Kleenex, dominoes, books, magazines, t-shirts of all sizes. And this was a request from a mom whose son is in Afghanistan. Tina Mater's Outreach Living Alone support group will meet on Thursday, November 17th from 10:30 to 11:30 in room 230. Please join if you're alone or new to our community. We want to know who you are and introduce you to some new friends. But call Tina at 540-2472 and say you're coming. It can't hurt. If you're in need of assistance with food for Thanksgiving, St. Anne's and the Littleton Council of Churches will be providing a generous Thanksgiving basket for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Again, call Tina by November 14th and let her know. The call is confidential, and Tina will see that you have a healthy holiday meal. Just a note, we hope Tina's husband is on the mend after an emergency health issue. Don't forget about our thrift shop. You won't find those prices in any other store, and the condition of clothing here is always very good. Our volunteers are there to help you and enjoy your company. So come in and visit and take your time to look around. November 20th is Fashionista Day from our thrift, and you'll be entertained by our casual fun with fashions. That's at 2 p.m. and the charge is $5, and it's a donation, and it will go towards our programs. Also, we will have our annual sale of holiday items soon. Expect rooms full of very nice ornaments and much, much more. But look for our ads and advertisements on the Common very soon. The Boston Pops Christmas matinee and shopping trip has been redesigned. Instead of going to the Copley Plaza for so many hours before the show, you're going to leave Littleton at 1 p.m. instead of 10 a.m. and still return by 7:30 p.m. This trip is Thursday, December 8th. You'll go to the Prudential Center for an hour and then go to the Boston Pops for the Christmas music. And later, you'll have a tour around the Boston Common to see the Christmas lights. The cost is $76 per person, so call the office at 540-2470 and sign up soon. We have our young men from Park and Rec here sharing the spotlight and giving us news from Park and Rec this month.
Folks, how are you doing today? My name is Kevin Lee from Park and Rec Department, and this is Christopher Radley, also from Park and Rec.
Hi, everyone.
We're here to tell you some information coming up this November. We have our Holiday Helpers program, which is November 7th. Our pickup ornaments that have gifts, and the event is December 10th. Also, the driver's ed department, our week-long Christmas break class is from 12/26 to December 30th, and that's from 8 to 3.
Excellent. Really popular class because you get it done in 1 week and nice and easy. Coming up in community education, we have our kissing ball and evergreen tree classes for pottery and gardening. That will be the first week of December, both those classes. They're filling up quickly, so make sure to call and register. Phone number, just so you know, is 978-540-2490, and our website is www.littletonrec.com. Also coming up, Zumba and yoga, both second sessions will be beginning in November, and Getting Paid to Talk will start the first week of December. That's a very popular class, so call quickly. And coming up for children, we have the babysitter course for young adolescents who are looking to get trained in first aid babysitting, as well as our Challenger soccer and fast athletic programs for children aged preschool all the way up to 3rd and 4th grade. And like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call at 978-540-2490. We're always willing to answer questions, and our website is www.littletonrec.com. And have a great holiday season.
Thank you.
Veterans Day is November 11th, and each year there is a flag retirement ceremony at West Lawn Cemetery. It is held with the Littleton Scouts and Venture Crew. We need to retire our worn and torn flags, and if you have a flag that is ready for retirement, please bring it to the Veterans Office on the 2nd floor in the Town Hall. The ceremony will take place on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, and that is Friday at 11 a.m. on November 11th at the West Lawn Cemetery. This is really a beautiful ceremony, so please bring the family and bring your spirit and your old flag. Another beautiful ceremony is one I attended recently called Bugles Across America. And to tell you a little bit about that, we have Dave Toma.
Hi Barbara, my name is Dave Toma. I'm a representative of Bugles Across America, and I thank you for inviting me down here to give me the opportunity to give the people a good idea as to what is going on with our organization, Bugles Across America. We have been doing this now since 2004 that I am aware of. That's when I first got involved with it. And at present, we are over in Acton, across from Town Hall on Congress Street, that we have our ceremony on the first Sunday of every month at 7 p.m. at night. We start out with usually the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag. We start with that, and then our post commander of American Legion Post 284, Jim Inlet, gives a brief summary as to information as to troops coming or going home or to Iraq or Afghanistan, and the ones that unfortunately did not make it home the way that they should be making it home. But anyways, after the ceremony, we have a minister from any denominational church. We strictly do not allow any politicking at our ceremony, or we can't allow anybody from a certain church to say, come to my church. It's not for that purpose. We're there for one reason, and the reason only is to remember our fallen men and women who have given so much for so little. And after the ceremony, the pastor gives us prayer. We finish with a sound of taps. Usually we have two buglers, and we are very fortunate to have one gentleman from Post 284 that is there just about every time that we have our ceremony. And we also have a student from the Acton Boxborough School. Now this is, to me, a wonderful thing because it gets the youth involved into what we are doing, and it's just so wonderful that they can participate in our program. One good thing about it is that I find that through the years we are losing some of our buglers due to the fact that they're graduating from high school, they're leaving off to college, but I always tell them before they go that you can't go unless you have a replacement, and they have furnished replacements from the school for us. So it's a very related community function that we try to program to have at the ceremony. We have been doing this for 74 months now, faithfully, rain or shine, and we have not missed 1 month since we've done this. And there are other cities in Massachusetts that are performing this ceremony faithfully at that time, along with all the other states in the United States. So this is a big, wide, worldwide program that we have. And I thank you for giving me the opportunity, Barbara, to be here and present this, and hopefully I can bring this into Littleton with the beautiful monument that they have in the square. It would be a wonderful place to have this. So if you can't make it to, if we can't get into Littleton, come on down to Acton. Everybody is welcome. Thank you very much.
The town offices will be closed on Friday, November 11th, Veterans Day, and Thursday, November 24th for Thanksgiving. With all of the upcoming holidays, please mark your calendars for school and town office closings. Mark Crory has taken over as director of the studio, and I would like to introduce him to come in and tell more about that.
Thanks, Barbara. Yes, I'm very excited about being appointed the executive director for Littleton Community Television. And we have a lot of plans, which I'm sure Allen Mcrae will highlight when you interview him later. But I'm really looking for volunteers, people to come in. There may be a lot of buttons and things that you see here, but even I don't know what all the buttons do. No, I'm just kidding. Even though there's 100 buttons, there's like 5 that you really need to know. So, I've had Cub Scouts in here who have learned the equipment. I've had all ages. So don't be intimidated. And the thing I try to say to everybody is, you're giving your free time to come in and volunteer. And why would you give your free time to something that wasn't fun? So we try to make it fun. And everyone who comes in here always laughs and has a good time. And it's just instead of taking an art class or learning how to basket weave, come in here and learn how to volunteer and produce a show. You don't have to produce a show of your own. There are plenty of shows here that could use assistance. So it's up to you. You can certainly do a show of your own, but We're looking for all types of volunteers. But it's a great way to spend some time. We're looking for creative types too, people who may have ideas. Maybe they're the idea people, not the technical people, but they could come up with some great ideas. Littleton's 300th anniversary is coming up. We have a lot of plans to do a lot of segments and stories on people and places of interest to Littleton. So we're going to need a lot of volunteers to do that, and people with knowledge of Littleton. So if you're a longtime resident or a new resident, doesn't matter, we'll take you. So thank you again for the years that you have supported Littleton Community Television, and we look forward to great things in the future. So back to you, Barbara.
Thank you, Mark. Now, all of you out there, don't forget to hug a senior. You've probably read or heard something recently about Comcast turning our local cable access channel over to the town of Littleton. We thought it was about time to let you share what was happening and what we plan to do with that station. Mark McRae was hired to continue as director of the studio, and he will give you highlights on his ideas. And Allen Mcrae, as the chairman of the cable committee, is here to give you the full story. And thanks to David Sills, Millie McGovern, Leslie Glorioso, Alan Hoff, and myself, we are able to complete the contract we set out to do. So, hello, Alan.
Hi, Barbara.
So the cable committee recently completed the contract with Comcast,
Right.
And so there's going to be some major changes, isn't there?
Yes.
So would you like to tell us about it?
Surely, as you know, and maybe our viewers don't, with this latest contract, we will now be, the town will now be running the studio. And that is the biggest change in the contract. Everything else is pretty much the way it's always been. But this is a big one because Comcast, over the past several years, has been getting out of running studios. And we knew that this was going to happen when we finished the latest contract. So we've been working with the Board of Selectmen and the town administrator for some time now to talk about what was going to happen to the studio when the contract ran out, the last one. Just to give you a little background, back in 1979, early 80s, was the first time that Littleton had a cable company come in to provide cable services. And that was Neshoba Cable, those many years ago. And you just mentioned the people that we have on the committee. Well, Millie McGovern, who is on our committee, was on the first cable committee at that time. So she knows it from A to Z. In any event, at that time, they put in a very small studio for the town to do local programming. And we were located at the school, the
Russell Street
Russell
School,
Street
I remember.
School, yes. Very small studio. Not a lot of things were happening. We were doing some governmental programs. We were taping selectmen and some local programs. Then AT&T bought Neshoba Cable. They continued with the same thing. Then Cablevision bought AT&T, so we had them for a while. And then Comcast came on the scene, and we've been with Comcast for quite a while now. Mm-hmm. This will be our second contract with them. Some years ago, about the same time that Comcast came on, the town was renovating the building that we're currently in, where Town Hall is. Mm-hmm. And the old gymnasium, which is now where our studio is, they didn't do anything with it because it didn't lend itself to offices. So they asked us if we'd like to move over here and get out of the school, which we did. We moved in here, and it's been super ever since. Right. So now with the new contract, we will be running the studio, the town. The Board of Selectmen, working with them, they decided that they would run it as a town department as opposed to a nonprofit.
Right.
Some towns do it this way, others do a nonprofit. They felt that it would be better to do it as a town department. They also decided that we would stay in the facility where we are, which was really good because
very convenient.
Yeah, we do. It's most you don't have to go out and try to find space. It's right here in town hall where everything is going on.
Right.
So they said that we could stay here and that we would be able to run the studio from here. So that's the big news.
Yeah.
It's the big news.
Yeah. Well, that's really great because, first of all, we do appreciate being able to stay here, not have to look for another place, and also we're wired in to the building and other buildings this way, and we're set up. We'd have to redo a lot of that.
Yeah,
so.
well, we have the robotic camera set up down in room 103,
right?
Which we can do live. Years ago, we had to tape the selectmen's meetings and then run the tape, but we can do it live now. So if something is happening at a selectmen's meeting that you're home watching and you go, wait a minute, I have something to say about that, you can beat feet down here and do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, this is like something else that they're going to want to know and people are going to want to know. And what actually is PEG access?
Oh, okay. In 1980, when cable companies first came on the scene, the federal government, as usual, decided that they had to get into the act and they had to regulate them. So they came up with the 1980 Cable Act. One of the things in the Cable Act was that if a company is providing cable services to a municipality, that they had to provide a method by which that municipality could do local programming, government, educational. And so they came up with an acronym called PEG, and that stands for Public Access, the E stands for educational side of it, and the G stands for the governmental side of it. So PEG access for us, the public, is just exactly that. Any citizen who would like to come in and produce a program on any subject that they would like to produce it, as long as it's not obscene, can certainly do so. They can use the facilities here, they can produce the program, and it will be aired locally.
Right.
And that is after they're trained. Of course, you have to be trained to do this stuff, but we provide all the training. The educational side of it is strictly for the schools and the school committee to provide anything local educational related. And the governmental side is all the selectmen's meetings that we do, the ZBA, FinCom, and which we're going to hopefully be doing a lot more of that. And in the beginning we had Channel 8. Everybody said, well, you know, Littleton is Channel 8. Well, now we have 3 channels, and one is dedicated to each one of those parts of the acronym.
Right.
Channel 8 on the Comcast side, Channel 38 on Verizon is the public access. And then we'll be running all of the educational stuff on Channel 10 or Channel 40 on Verizon. And the governmental stuff will be on Channel 9 or Channel 39 in Verizon. That's right now most of everything is running on Channel 8 and Channel 38, but we'll be moving to those other 2 channels very soon. And that's what PEG access means. And if you are interested in producing a program on any subject you'd like to produce it on, please give Mark a call, come in, get into one of our training sessions, learn how to operate the stuff, and produce it. And look around and get a couple of friends to become part of your production team and come in and do it all together. It's much more fun that way.
It is, and and I have to always say that I really enjoy doing this. It feels like, you know, I've learned a whole new trade. Not that, you know, I intend to go any further than this little studio.
Channel 2 is calling.
But, you know, being an artist and everything, I still feel that this is part of it. This is part of being an artist because I have fun with helping with the sets or thinking of a program or helping other people to do you know, a program,
Right.
brainstorming for them. So, you know, don't think you're getting too old either, because it kind of keeps your brain going. Although I do need help from Mark once in a while, because I do forget things. But anyway, so yeah, it's enjoyable. But now that the town is going to be running the studio, managing it, how is it going to be paid for? Because I know people are going to ask that question.
Oh, yeah, it's always the money question. isn't
Right.
it? Okay. All right, we have two cable companies. We have the Comcast and we have Verizon. And in no longer running the studio, they are still responsible for providing the town with the money to run the studio. So PEG access, as it says in the 1980 Cable Act, must be there. And so the cable companies are responsible. Either they run the studio or they pay us the money needed to run the studio. So in this case, we have a contract with Verizon, we have a contract with Comcast, and they will both be paying us 5% every year of the gross revenues that are generated by Littleton subscribers. And they'll be paying that to us on a quarterly basis, and that will be the revenue stream which we'll use to operate the studio. Now, the studio, being a town-run department, will operate just like any other department, like the highway department, park and rec, COA, whatever. We'll still put together a budget for the department. It will be approved by the Finance Committee, by the Board of Selectmen, and it will go to town meeting like all other departments for approval by town meeting. The difference is that the money is reimbursed back to the town out of our cable account, and the cable account, again, is fed by the 5% from Comcast and from Verizon. So all of the services that we receive from the town get reimbursed. Salaries will pay, benefits will pay, all expenses, equipment buys, and everything else will be paid for out of the cable account. And we think that we'll have sufficient revenue stream to not only do the things we want to do, but to upgrade the studio, to eventually have more than just Mark working here, that he'll have
An assistant.
an assistant. And we're always looking for volunteers to do things here. So
Right, yeah.
that's what we're hoping to have. And just to say again, no town funds involved. Everything will come directly out of the cable account.
Yep, and this is unusual for so many things in town. It's kind of nice to be able to say that and not have, I know that people are going to be happy to hear that, because it's one more thing they don't, or one less thing they don't have to worry about as far as their finances are concerned.
That's right.
And yeah, just remember that when you're out there at town meeting. So.
Now, how's the thing going to run? Day to day, Mark Crory will be running the studio. The cable committee will be setting policies and directions, but we meet, once a month, sometimes twice a month. We won't be here on a daily basis. So for the supervision, it will be the town administrator, just the same way he's a supervisor on a day-to-day basis with all the other town departments here. And then, of course, all of us are appointed by the Board of Selectmen, and so they have their input in terms of, they appointed Mark, they appoint our committee, and they appointed the town administrator. So like all the other town departments, will directly report to the Board of Selectmen. Now, we've got some changes that were already in the works. The changeover date from Comcast to town department is November the 15th. So right now, most everything that we're doing is in the background, hopefully moving forward after November 15th. But one thing that people who regularly watch the channel will have noticed already is that the bulletin board is quite different than it used to be.
Yeah.
It's much more legible. It uses color so that the notices on there stand out,
Right.
and it has a crawl across the bottom to provide information on what's going on at the studio, training, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
So
it
you
is
can-
looking a lot better.
You can pick that up, so it is looking a lot better. And we've been talking seriously about the bulletin board maybe doing audio rather than just standing looking at the screen and reading the notices from St. Anne's that they're putting on the holiday bazaar, the Christmas bazaar. There'll be a nice modulated voice telling you that. So if you're multitasking at home, you can listen to the bulletin board.
That would be fabulous.
Yeah. The other thing we're doing is that the community room down at the police station, it's a very, very nice public area for people to hold meetings in.
Right.
I know the selectmen are interested in moving some of their meetings down there just to change the venue. So Mark is right now dealing with several companies getting bids to put in live cable casting equipment in that room.
Great.
And so we're hoping that by the first of the year, we'll be able to cable cast live from the police community room. So the availability of additional town groups that are meeting down there, having their meeting on television, will be greatly enhanced.
Yeah.
Playback equipment. We're looking to buy some new playback equipment and change out what we have back here now, just to make the playback work a lot smoother and a lot easier. Studio facilities, we're going to be looking to start upgrading not only the equipment in the control room, but the look, what you see when you walk in. Both the doorway and the hallway from the inside the building, and also the one that you enter from the parking lot. We're looking to repaint all of those areas, carpet those areas. We want to put in a welcome desk,
Right.
office kind of thing, where when people walk in, they see our TV monitors, they see what's showing on television. There's someone there to greet them. There'll be a little waiting area, coffee, water, et cetera, et cetera. Make it more user-friendly.
Right.
And so those are some of the first things that are going to start to happen. And then from there, we'll try to upgrade not only the equipment, but also the quality.
Well,
And we're always looking for volunteers.
and this is what I was going to say. That's the thing, that when we go to other towns, we notice that they all seem to have a lot of volunteers. And it's a little harder here in Littleton, it seems, to get people interested in coming here, learning how to use the cameras, learning how to edit, learning how to do a show. And so we do get a little envious when we make contact with these other towns. So I don't understand what our problem is, although now we may have a different attitude coming into the studio.
Yeah.
And I hope so, because we'd love to see you come in and help us, or do a show. If you don't want to do a show, if you're a little afraid, then fine. Learn how to use the camera. It's not that hard. I can do it. You can do it.
Yeah. Well, it is. The thought of it's intimidating.
Yeah.
Television cameras and equipment and broadcasting.
Right.
But even I have learned how to do it. And Mark is an excellent instructor. Start small. Come in and learn how to use a handheld camera. Go out and do a show about fishing on Long Lake. We've had some of those. So
Which Tori does, yes.
Yeah.
We could do, there's lots
all
going
kinds
on.
of things that go on.
There's lots
if you've
going
got
on.
a couple of friends that you guys like to do a certain thing, you have a hobby.
Well, not only that, but
come in
Bob
and do it.
Spinozzi, who does his show, A Small Town, and myself are always looking for someone to help us with our show. In other words, like help us find a subject that they'd like to see, maybe help us with cameras, brainstorm with us. And he and I, you know, do this together, but we always need someone else that can help us out, because I may want to be on the camera with Bob out on the Common, and we need someone who can handle the cameras while Mark is here taking care of whoever would come in and need to talk to him. So we do need people who can learn how to use the cameras and come out with us.
It's a good way to get your feet wet.
Yeah.
To come in and volunteer to be a member of a production crew, either your program, Bob Spinozzi's program, one of the others,
Right.
and work with them in all aspects of what they're doing so that you become comfortable with it, and you may decide that you want to start your own show.
Right.
And the more the merrier. So
Right.
please do come on down. The telephone number will be changing here too after the November 15th.
Oh,
so
it will. It'll be a town number
yeah,
like the
it'll
rest?
be a town number, one of those
okay,
540 numbers, but I don't know what it's going to be yet.
Yeah.
But we'll advertise that widely.
Right.
But you know, give Mark Crory a call. Tell him you're interested. Find out when the training dates are. Give Barbara a call. Call Bob Spinozzi. They're in the phone book. Tell them that you're interested in being part of a production crew.
Right, right.
And get your feet wet. We always love to have you.
Yes. Well, I loved having you too.
Oh, thank you.
But anyway, you know, do get in touch with us, and I hope that you feel as though you got all the information you needed about the new setup here at our studio. And we will be probably making a new logo and, you know, all kinds of neat things. So keep in touch and keep watching us.
Can you hear me and everything like that?
I can hear you now,
Alrighty.
and I've got you. Oh, my
Fault.
fault. Great.
Quiet, Barbara.
I know.
Turn it off. Can you even start?
Thank you, Baba. Oh man, we ought to mess up, right? Baba. Thank you, Baba.
Thanks, Bubba.
Donations to support our programs through the Friends of the COA. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think I goofed somewhere.
School days, dear old golden rules, old days, when reading and writing and arithmetic were taught to the tune of the hickory stick. I was your queen in calico, you were my bashful barefoot beau. So I wrote on my slate, I love you so. When we were a couple of kids.
You want me to vote?
After 11.